I hope that's a joke. Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 134th episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as the 22nd episode of Season 3 titled Follow That Cab. We begin this episode outside the youth center where Ernie is bringing milk to Kim for her cat. I mean, seriously Ernie, health code violation. Also, Kim is reading a newspaper, and as soon as Tommy comes and sits down, Kim screams. Tommy makes a joke about how he's glad that he has that kind of effect on Kim, because of course Tommy would think that. But Kim is actually really excited because a world-famous gymnastic coach, Gunther Schmidt, is in Angel Grove. Tommy tells her to try out, and Kim doesn't know about that. But it's been a dream since she was a little girl just to meet him. On the moon, Zed is mad because they don't have a foolproof plan to defeat the Rangers, and Rio suggests that they just turn a Ranger into a monster and make that be their destruction. Zed agrees that it might be actually a pretty good idea. Kim is then convinced by Tommy that she should go down and meet Gunther Schmidt, and she asks Ernie to watch the cat for her. I mean, Tommy's right there. Kim leaves and we find out right away why she didn't ask Tommy to help. The cat literally walks away immediately and no one notices. The cat walks away by dumpsters, turning into Catherine. Rita zaps down and Catherine tells her about Kim going to go meet a world-famous gymnastic coach. Rita explains that once she's in her car, they'll turn the car into a monster, and the Rangers won't have the heart to destroy it. It's a little different from the original plan, but it'll work. Meanwhile, Bulk and Skull are getting lectured by Stone about how there's been a car thief in the area recently. They're told to apprehend any suspicious suspects. Stone leaves, and while they're talking about how they're going to do a good job, we see some stereotype literally just breaking into a car. He drops his bag and Bulk and Skull help him by letting him into the car. He whistles off as Kimberly comes into the scene and she's pissed because her car just got stolen. Bulk and Skull react immediately and Bulk commandeers a taxi by telling them to stop. They kick the driver out and all three get in, while Kim is screaming about how she's coming with because it's her car. Also, the cab driver keeps waving even though he was explained how everything was going to be happening. Zed looks in and he sees what's going on and he asks for an update from Rita. And Rita just explains that they'll just do it anyways even with Bulk and Skull in there. Then she calls Catherine an evil girl, which she either just keeps repeating over and over and over again, or she's echoing. I like to think she's just going, evil girl, evil girl, evil girl. We get a flashback to Catherine as a little girl in the classroom that just has an Australian flag in it for no reason, and apparently she's been given some award for being a great volunteer for needy families in their community or something. All the other children clap in slow motion while young Catherine gets a ribbon, and her teacher calls her a good girl, which is also repeated over and over again. This is so bad. Then we come back and Rita is just still saying evil girl still, which means that she's actually been repeating herself for like a full minute. Catherine says no, she's good, not evil, but then Rita just zaps her what's good, recharging the evilness in Cat, I guess. She turns into her feline form and runs away. Then Rita laughs for a little too long about it. Meanwhile, the male Rangers are looking for the cat and Rocky's on his hand and knees just like going around when no one else is. Tommy just sees the cat and they give it back to Ernie. Meanwhile, Bulk and Skull are arguing like an old married couple because they lost the guy, and Kim is yelling at them, and then they just treat her like their child. This is a cute bit, to be honest. Now, Finster comes out with a giant-ass gun that he gives Zed, who then fires a laser at the cab as it's driving. Things start to change and get weird, creating an evil Krabby Cabby monster with Kim, Bulk, and Skull inside a weird dimension. Also, this monster has the fakest New York accent ever. The alarms are going off in the command center, and Alpha explains that he's a Krabby Cabby who's doubling the fare. They find out that Kim, Bulk, and Skull are inside, so they call the others. Meanwhile, Zed and Rita are celebrating how well their plan is going. In the command center, all the Rangers are morphed for absolutely no reason that's apparent without their helmets on. Billy tells Alpha to just teleport them out of there, but Alpha explains that because there are 3 people, their molecules could get scrambled, so they could get Kimberly or Kimber Bulk, which is an unintentionally hilarious line, especially coming from Alpha. Tommy says in the meantime they just have to stop him. Zordon then says that in order to slow him down, they'll need new vehicles. The shark cycles. Why sharks? Because they were made from the fossilized fin of a great prehistoric shark. I mean, that's more of an explanation than we usually get, so I guess I'll accept it. Alpha says that they have battle features as well. Now it's time to watch these 5 Rangers rush around on their bikes, going pretty much the exact speed limits as they start to chase down Krabby Cabby. We back inside the monster for a second, and then we cut away to see the Rangers finally getting closer to the monster. They're trying really hard to make this feel like a high-energy car chase, but seriously so boring because they're all going so damn slow. Then the monster fires out lasers from his tailpipes, and the Rangers just straight up roll through the explosions. Rita and Zed decide that this is the most opportune time to make their monster grow giant for absolutely no reason. So the Rangers pull over, because they have to, and the Rangers talk about how they need to get out the Shogun Zords for like a freaking minute before they finally do it. Then they each get in their Zords in a super painful long sequence. The monster immediately hits Rocky, who falls over, and we cut to him going through explosions, and it looks like he just killed Rocky, and no one has said anything about it. Tommy checks in with Alpha, who's ready with a device which shoots Kim, Bulk, and Skull out of the monster, landing on the asphalt. Kim makes Bulk and Skull take cover right away. Then the Shogun Zords stand on top of each other, spinning around, killing the monster. Did I mention that before this, Tommy calls for the Shogun Megazord? Girl, that's not the Megazord at all. Kim quietly says, "Way to go, guys," to herself, while Zed is mad about them losing again. I mean, is he shocked? Then Bulk and Skull find the guy who has Kim's car, and you can tell this guy is evil because of his goatee. They call Stone right away. The other Rangers, excluding Aisha, are hanging out, and Kim explains that she can just meet Coach Schmidt at the tryouts. Then Bulk and Skull come up with Kim's car, and she hugs Bulk, but not Skull for some reason. Then they see PC on the ground, and the Rangers talk about how it'd be cool to be a cat or something. I mean, who knows? Over the credits, we get a bonus scene of all 6 of the Rangers riding their shark cycles around town, and honestly, they're so damn lame because they're going at a snail's pace. This episode's kind of rough by season 3 standards, to be honest. Also, Aisha has only ever seen this episode in the command center. I honestly don't know why, she's just not around. Overall, it's slowly progressing the whole Kim loves gymnastics and his training idea that's been around for like the entire season. And while it's now giving us a goal for her, it's not much. Also, can we talk about how cringy that flashback was for Catherine? Like, wow. Other than that, this would be an awesome season 2 episode, but season 3 has seen better. Next time, we still a multi-parter that I've kind of been dreading to do since the beginning of this web series. But until then, may the power protect you.